Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another installation of the You, Me, and BTC podcast. I'm your lovely co-host, Tim. I'll give that to Daniel. He's definitely the host. But he's having me introduce you guys again, bring us all in. There he is giggling in the background. We have Daniel Brown with us.
What's up? I'm glad we're on just recording, so I can say I'm lovely too.
Yeah, well, okay, whatever. And Zach, do you have any adjectives you want to put before your name?
No, yeah, I'm good, thanks.
You're good? Okay, good. All right, it's just Zach. Zach is here. I'm bringing you guys in today. Again, hi guys, how are we doing? I hope you guys are doing good.
Pretty good.
New year.
Pretty good.
Hopefully not wasting it. I wasn't talking to you, Daniel. I said you guys. I will get to that eventually, but I want to talk to the audience first. So today, audience, we're going to be talking. We said last week we had to eventually touch on it. So we're going to talk a little bit on Bitcoin versus gold. It's something that comes up a lot. People have the discussion a lot. I'm sure we'll bring up stuff we've said before, but who knows? We'll come up with something new and we can figure out something new for you. But we're also going to do, now there's a newspaper. The one we talked about, again, last week, we're doing a lot of touching back, he's back in the news again saying something pretty much to the same extent that we just don't believe. It's a little bit too embellished.
I don't know if anyone understands what you just said, but yeah, last week we talked about this article where this guy said Bitcoin was getting demolished, and we made some fun of that, and we might have accidentally threw out some threats, but they were just jokes. And but now he's saying in another article, Bitcoin is soaring. Now, I mean, he's kind of right on both ends, but we'll get into it just a little bit and have some more fun. So
I think we both sucked on that because I didn't describe. I was like really too nebulous on it, and then you just like gave the whole thing.
Yeah, so we will just skip it.
No. Don't worry, we'll get so in depth with it.
No, yeah, he's literally Forrest Gump on paint chips because his first article was Bitcoin is slipping or something, and then he wrote Bitcoin being demolished, and then his third article was, now Bitcoin's soaring when the price went up like $25 in a day. He's just all over the place. I think he's an idiot. He is just a sensationalist, ridiculous Bitcoin journalist.
All right, now we really can skip it. So
none of his pieces have any make any sense.
He's a man of the people. He writes what people want, but not what Zach wants. Zach was I don't really remember any threats. I'm going to guess it was Zach. Probably Daniel. Daniel only makes threats.
No, we were trying to come up with the hashtag, and we were trying to play off Bitcoin is getting demolished. And I was like, well, demolish Michael or whoever this guy was. No, I can't do that.
Blow up his house. What?
All right, what else are we going to hit, Tim? Then let's get into Bitcoin.
What else we're going to talk about? We're actually going to get into it. We had a few YouTube comments. We're going to respond to your fan mail. I was going to say hate mail or love mail, but I couldn't really decide what it was.
Well, so yeah, some of it's hate mail.
Always keep on sending those to us, because then you'll get to hear us talk about you. And then also, at the very end, we're going to be talking about how Bitcoin trading and how it's really starting to dip into where people are they're running really fast programs, buying, selling, and it's a lot of the market, or people are wondering like how that's affecting the market, and we'll get to talking about that. But first, before we fuck off and talk about anything else, we're going to talk about Bitcoin versus gold, and unless Daniel's going to correct me here.
Yeah, we'll let Zach. No, you're exactly right. We'll let Zach take it over here because he did find this article from Zero Hedge, and so give us some deets, Zach. What's going down here?
Okay,
it is a little dated. Yeah, it's from January 7th by Tyler Durden.
Of this year, though, just to tell people, it's not that it's like 10 days old.
Yeah, well, a lot can happen in 10 days. Bitcoin went from soaring to being demolished in 10 days, or actually the other way around, but yeah. So this article is basically talking about how Bitcoin, or challenging the idea of Bitcoin being as good as gold because all the people were going around the internet going crazy because the price of gold and Bitcoin were so close together, and I don't think Bitcoin ever passed the value of gold, an ounce of gold, but it was really close for a period of time. And so he's challenging the idea of whether or not Bitcoin can be equated to the value of gold as an actual physical commodity, and whether or not the prices being so close together is even something we should be concerning ourselves with. Like whether or not the comparison between Bitcoin and gold is worthwhile. So I have a few thoughts on the article, and obviously you guys can chime in at any time. But I think he completely misses the point of why the closeness of the price in gold and Bitcoin is so important. That being because no central power controls the value of Bitcoin like gold, and unlike all currently existing fiat currencies. So he goes through the article and lists off a few key differences between gold and Bitcoin, which, in his opinion, make the comparison impossible. That being Bitcoin's volatility, the fact that Bitcoin is an intangible quote unquote good, and that sort of stuff. Typical arguments, and then he expounds them and analyzes them and basically makes his case pretty well, but he still misses the main point nonetheless. And on top of that, on top of missing the main point that Bitcoin, like gold, doesn't have a centralized value determinant like fiat currencies do, there are two key differences that Bitcoin has overcome to get to this point where the price was so close to the price of gold that gold has never had to deal with. The first one being a permanently finite supply. So there's obviously a set number of Bitcoins that can ever exist, whereas the same is not necessarily true of gold. People could discover more gold mines and so forth. The supply we have now is not completely permanently finite. And secondly, you can lose Bitcoin permanently, as in lose an address or access combinations and so forth, and that Bitcoin is lost forever. It's gone. But you can't just make gold disappear. I guess you could lose it in a sense, but not the same sense. But it doesn't just disappear and can't be permanently inaccessible like Bitcoin can. So I see his point as to why the comparison isn't necessarily the best, but I still disagree that he misses the point of why the price similarities or why the closeness in price is so important, and the fact that Bitcoin has overcome challenges that gold never had to experience to get to this point. So I think the comparison is still very much worthwhile and worth talking about.
All right, so I like a lot of what you said. You're right. It does kind of miss the point because, yes, there are differences, and I'm going to agree with the author here a little bit in a second. There are certainly differences, and Bitcoin does have its drawbacks, and gold does have its advantages, and vice versa. But so there's all kinds of stuff to look at. But I will agree with you that the main reason, or at least a main reason, that we love Bitcoin is because it's not controlled by the government. And you're right, that is a central thing that maybe he barely even mentions, and it makes both gold and Bitcoin pretty freaking awesome. So that's one thing. The part that I'm pretty strongly going to agree with him is that I want to say it's the first few paragraphs here. I could be wrong. It's been a while since I read the whole thing straight through. But anyway, he spends quite a while pointing out that Bitcoin is arbitrary. All right. Somebody just Satoshi decided that there should be 21 million. And then each division of that is arbitrary too. I mean, we could start doing DAI Bitcoins, which are, start trading in 2 Bitcoins at a time. Or we already have millibits or bits or Satoshis. There's any arbitrary kind of Bitcoin that you want to have, you can have. I like to, as a joke sometimes I like to tweet about how the price of a kilobitcoin just crossed $1 million or something. It is arbitrary, and it has nothing to do with an ounce of gold. But at the same time, the gold fractions and denominations are equally as arbitrary. An ounce is who knows what. A gram is who knows what. I mean, they're all based on different things, whatever. But it's still just an arbitrary weight or an arbitrary fraction of the total Bitcoins ever. And so I would agree with the author that to say that, oh crap, the price of Bitcoin just crossed gold. That doesn't really mean anything. I would be more concerned about the market cap of either one, which is the total value of all gold, usually above ground, that we have, and the total value of all Bitcoins, also above ground, or at least mined. And so the comparison is totally arbitrary on both sides, and it means absolutely nothing to say that the price of Bitcoin surpassed gold, other than just I'm not opposed to arbitrary celebrations. Oh, we're past 1,000. Oh, we're past gold. Oh, we're past 2,000. Like, sure, I'll celebrate all that stuff, but it doesn't really mean much.
Yeah, and so before he jumps into the breakdown of why he doesn't think the comparison between Bitcoin and gold is proper or good, he says a lot of people think Bitcoin is about to be more valuable than gold. This is, of course, conceptually incorrect, but it's really not, because people are simply saying, well, in the conversion of Bitcoin to US dollars and gold to US dollars, that value characteristic or determinant of those two goods, gold and Bitcoin, they're almost similar. They almost have the exact same exchange rate into US dollars. And so he's just skipping over a whole bunch of complex value theories. Well, we can go on for hours. We've talked about it before. Like, what makes something valuable? How do you determine the value of something? And so him just saying, well, no, you can't say the value of Bitcoin and gold are almost equal is actually, in his words, a conceptually incorrect thing to say, because yes, in fact, you can, since the only value we're talking about is the conversion of Bitcoin to US dollars and gold to US dollars. And that conversion of those two goods is almost, or was almost the same. So I see your point and the things that you agree with, but I just think he misses some key points and doesn't really treat the issue as well as he could.
Yeah. So what do you guys think then? For personally, which one do you prefer, and for what reasons? I know Tim and I both have a little bit of gold and silver and Bitcoin, and I have my reasons for having both. But what do you guys think? Is there one that clearly dominates, or what?
I'm going to say Bitcoin, just to pretty much say it, I guess, but I'll defend it then. I think Bitcoin's better because, for one, gold, it'd be a little bit of a different argument if it was silver, because gold's a little bit too expensive to carry. Like you have to carry it in one,
Well, some people see that as a good thing. So if something
it is a good thing. It is a good thing for storing value. My issue is if you want your currency to be safe against a collapse, it's different if you want money or money saved up for future, you're expecting everything to go well, versus money that's kind of saved up and okay, I'm going to break this out with if something goes wrong, if there's a disaster or something like that. I think Bitcoin is better only pretty much because of that. I don't, kind of a little bit what Zach said before about Bitcoin gets lost, but gold doesn't. Is that what you said, Zach? I don't want to put it in the wrong way. Okay. I wouldn't fully agree with that, because I think it's just a matter of, Bitcoin can get lost on the computer just because you don't know the password. You can be full access to the computer. You just, for whatever reason, put it behind something because it's just in a different world, kind of. And I think, you can get, gold can be still stolen, or just, it's just you lose it in a physical world.
Yeah, you could lock it in a safe and lose the safe. I would say it's a whole lot more
lose a key
rare.
Or something like that. Yeah, because part of that, I think, though, is because, as people, we take, physical stuff way more seriously. As far as, once you have it in front of me, once you have it in front of you, it's just more real.
Possession is 9/10 of the law.
Yeah, but, okay, but, Bitcoin online, it's just a little bit, it's always just going to be different, because we're so used to living in, a physical thing.
It's hard to say that you own Bitcoin to a lot of people. It's hard to show them
my phone
hey,
right there.
I own this.
Oh, you mean your pictures? You own the pictures on your phone? Yeah, okay.
Exactly.
Yeah, but you do technically, because you can always have the code to put it back in. But just like gold, I think you can lose both. I'm trying to remember where I was going. Oh, okay. Bitcoin, because if you need to move to something, you can't. If there's any kind of a problem, the government isn't letting anybody leave with just a bunch of gold.
Oh,
you're trying to get out of the country, or if you're trying to just move, they pull you over. They're like, why do you have 3 gold bars in the back of your car? Because they're checking everything, obviously.
Yeah, actually, that's a serious concern. I've been thinking about that a lot recently, because I live on my own now, and I've been considering, where to live. Do I rent or do I buy land? And I've thought about that a ton recently, and I hesitate to buy land because I can't take it with me ever, really. It's so illiquid, it's not even funny. And, technically you don't even own it and you have to pay taxes. But even if you did own it, it's so hard to take with you or to keep safe from other people and stuff like that. So that's a huge factor with gold. It's impossible to cross borders with it very easily or safely, especially if there was some kind of catastrophe going on. And but Bitcoin is pretty subtle. So
sure, but barring a catastrophe, you can't throw a rager on your Bitcoin wallet, but you can on a piece of property.
Yeah, so. You can't build a throne out of Bitcoin.
Okay, well, my first thought is no one thinks that because the value of the prices of the two are so close that Bitcoin and gold are the same or equally interchangeable. It's just that no thing like Bitcoin or of no central value like fiat currencies ever come this close to a exchange rate with gold. That's why it's so important. No one thinks they're the same thing. They obviously have completely different characteristics and uses and so forth, and so no one thinks they're the same. Also, the thing that matters is their market cap, their size. Like Bitcoin, you said a couple episodes ago, Dan, Bitcoin can't hold a candle to gold's total market value cap.
Right.
And so even if their exchange rates are similar right now, gold has still so much more total value. And I guess for those reasons, I would choose gold over Bitcoin. But no one thinks that they're the same thing. They're equally interchangeable just because the prices are so close. And they have completely different characteristics and facets. And obviously one of them is better at certain things than the other in any given situation. I would, I guess, have to pick gold. But I think those are two key things to keep in mind.
Yeah, and I would say I agree. They're just different things, and just like any other different thing, this laptop has these specs, and that laptop has those specs, and they're different, and they have different prices. That's really all there is to it. They're different people have different needs and different, ideas about what will be valuable in the future. And when I say valuable, I mean it in every sense of the word. They have different ideas about which one will be worth more. They have different ideas about which one will be more usable, different ideas about which one will be more liquid and transferable, physically and transactionally. Everyone just has different ideas, and they are just different things, and that's about all there is to it.
Yeah, no, you're right, because they're getting compared, like Zach said, because it's jumped up in value this quickly, and because people can't get out of their head that it's more than just a money. Because you can compare this to gold versus oil or gold versus anything, because it's can be seen as just a commodity like that too. So the comparison is always going to be like, they're both good, kind of, maybe. Because it's like, well, you can run. Gold is good for storing value, but you can kind of maybe store value in oil too, but you can also run it with your car, so that has some benefits to do it. And then guns also kind of hold value, but then they're also kind of weird to keep, and people get scared of them sometimes. And so yeah, any question like that is going to end up just having so many different parts to it that you can't really answer.
So in true YMB fashion, as we often say,
exactly.
When the question comes up, which one is better, Bitcoin or gold, the YMB answer is, it's one or the other. It could be either one. Maybe if one's good, the other one might be good, or something like that. It could be maybe or possibly. So there you go. There you have it. The official YMB stance on Bitcoin versus gold is,
who knows? Get both.
Well, actually, yeah, just get both. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. So. All right. Any other thoughts on this article? Bitcoin or gold or silver or Litecoin or Dogecoin?
We could probably link to the article in the podcast notes.
Absolutely. Yep, I will put it in the notes. And here's a random opportunity I'm going to take to sneak in some extra information. For anyone that might not know, the way I often do the links in our shows is that it's kind of a long story. It's hard to copy paste different links into YouTube and SoundCloud and Spreaker and everything, just because when I copy the text, it usually doesn't include the link. And if I want to include the link, I can't make it directly clickable on YouTube, but so I have to put it in parentheses with the full URL. Whatever. Don't worry about the specifics. But so just this random thing that I have the opportunity to remind everyone. If you want to see the original show notes with all the links and all the embedded YouTube videos, if we have them, embedded tweets, if we have them in their best form, because I can't put that all in the YouTube description, normally what I'll do is the very first line of the YouTube description will have a link back to the main episode on the main website, you, me, and btc.com, and that's where you'll get all the links, all the embeds, and extra, a tweet button or whatever. Last week we had a special tweet that I wanted people to send out, so we had that. So hopefully that makes sense, but just a little tidbit I thought I would sneak in there. And I think it's fair to transition then, and we could actually touch on just what that tweet was about. Last week we said there was that article where this guy said Bitcoin was getting demolished, and we wanted people to tweet at him and say, man, I don't think Bitcoin's getting demolished, dude. So that's what the tweet button was for. And so now they say Bitcoin is soaring. I seriously do think we don't have much to say here. We just wanted to point out that it was kind of funny, and we pretty much already covered that. Any thoughts, guys, on that you want to get out real quick? What's he gonna write about tomorrow? Bitcoin has not moved. Bitcoin is up 2 cents. Bitcoin is down 2 cents.
Yeah, well, Bitcoin has been stagnant over the past few couple days last week, and no articles from him about it. So maybe he just doesn't have anything to say. I don't know. He only has crazy headlines to turn out when the price fluctuates even marginally, I guess.
Yeah, so what was his name? Michael Garber from Business Insider. So the tweet button is still there if you guys want to use it. Hashtag Bitcoin Wrecking Ball. We encourage you to make use of that, because why the F
ask
not?
Him what happened to the Wrecking Ball. Is Bitcoin not being demolished anymore?
Yeah.
I think we scared him into changing his opinion.
Yeah, that's what really happened.
Probably. It was Daniel that one time he was like, oh, shit.
Yeah, the YMB effect. Yeah. We control the mass media.
That's true. We're getting there. We're pretty darn close. Pretty soon we'll be able to put out fake news and people will eat it up. So, all right, guys. Well, then let's do it then. Why not? I'll turn it over to you, Tim, just because. How about you read us some of the YouTube comments from last week's show? We had some fun ones. We're specifically reading from World Crypto Network YouTube channel right now, just because that's where some of the good comments were. But you're welcome to comment anywhere, and we do get comments all over the place on our websites, Preaker, wherever. But just because there were 3 good ones here, I thought we'd stick with WCN. So go for it, Tim. You want to read us one?
All right. Thank you for taking a little bit longer than that, because I had to find it.
Oh, I've been doing this for 3 years, Tim. I know what I'm doing.
No, you know. But yeah, we're looking at our comments. I'm trying not to jingle around with the ice in my drink too much. But yeah, this is from World Crypto Network, episode 157. You might already said episode 157, but whatever. We got first, we're just going to go down the line. And again, if you comment, we'll talk about you on the show. So, I mean, if that's any kind
of... no, we can't promise that because we get them all over the place and we might not spot them. But there's definitely a chance. We can't promise it, but we like to talk about them.
We will talk about them. You might not hear the recording of it, but we'll definitely talk about it.
Yeah. You can... See, that's even better because then you can make up in your head what we would have said about it, and it can be your perfect fantasy, so...
Exactly. His comment was so amazingly smart. We're going to kill ourselves, definitely. We are all gay, actually. Damn it! Anyway, Dave Matherly is starting out. This is from 3 days ago, so we're definitely on top of our shit. The shows are sounding a bit more lively lately. For a while, you guys sounded stoned and sleepy. Maybe it was the dull price action?
Sounded?
BTC was pretty damn stable and boring for a while there. I fucked up your thing there. I'm sorry, Dave Matherly. Thank you for the comment. I mean, as to my knowledge, Daniel and John are not stoned. As to my knowledge, I can't really remember, but whatever.
I want to know what he means by a while. Is he saying like for a year we've been sounding awful?
Since we started, pretty much. He's like, it's gotten real fucking good recently, and it was so bad recently.
It's probably Zach. We started having Zach. This is his 3rd regular show, so that's really all it was.
That, and then John was gone for a while, and then he came back, so we were changing it up a lot, so it kept us, like, all energized, and we're like, no, fuck you, you're different, this is weird. But yeah, no, that's good, I guess, unless he likes really stoned and sleepy podcasts, like he likes to fall asleep to them.
That's true, he doesn't really, like, have any, like, smiley faces or anything in there. He's like, if you read it, like, the reverse way, it'd be like, you guys are sounding more lively lately. For a while, you sounded stoned and sleepy. Yeah.
Maybe it was adult price action. Maybe BTC needs to settle down a little bit.
Yeah. Well, I guess now with Michael Garber now, I mean, according to him, we should be sounding super lively right now.
We should email him to ask for an interview. See if he can come on.
Hey, let's do it. I'm not even joking. He might. We got some good interviews before, and it could happen. I'll give it a shot. He'll be like, and now nobody's talking, and now everyone's talking, and now everyone's talking.
Yeah, no. Somebody get Daniel an Adderall prescription. My show will be lively as fuck. And for about, like, probably a year, and then after that, he just won't be here for a bit.
All right, next comment, Tim.
Lively. Next comment we have from Eric Hansen. I was listening until you promoted Dice, and it's an edited comment, so I don't know what was said before.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yumi and BTC responds, oh shoot, I forget the devil invented dice. My B. Thanks for giving us a shot though. Which, I'll say what he then responded, it's not your fault, keep doing your thing, which is cultural appropriation.
What does that mean it's not our fault? Of course it's our fault.
It's not your fault for choosing to support these people that I don't really agree with. You just took money from them because you don't have any kind of morals against them. But yeah, I forgot the devil invented the dice. Whenever people respond like that in a text or a tweet, like a weird kind of phrase like that, it's always the weirdest thing. Like, I'm like, what? Like, did you have to look that up, or did that just come to your head?
It came to my head. That's called a sense of humor. I don't know.
That wasn't funny. You just said, and then you said my being, and you both started, yeah, never mind. But, we apologize, Eric Hansen, but apparently it wasn't our fault, so.
Yeah, well, hey,
never mind.
Hey, while we're at it, we were promoting Rollin last week, my favorite Bitcoin dice site. So, well, one of my favorites. I have a few that I like, but you, me, and btc.com/Rollin, ROLLIN. We're going to do it again so you can stop listening now, dude.
We would apologize for supporting them and try and get you to listen again, but like you said, it's not our fault, so we're off the hook.
Oh, true, yeah. If it's not our fault, we're going to keep doing it.
It took away all responsibility. Cleansed of that problem. We have from Richard 343S, which might just be, it'd be Richard's 343
or 343s.
Yeah, exactly. I think Bitcoin will remain stable for a while and then go down again, or it could just go back up. Maybe, probably not. This is the best comment on this entire goddamn thing.
I know. I'm giving it a thumbs up now.
He's trolling, I guess, but then no one's actually liking it or hating it. We need someone to actually comment on there. Yeah, I mean, he has a troll face for his avatar, so I imagine that's what it is.
You're my hero, Richard.
He's definitely got the one. Yeah, you perfected Daniel's sense of humor.
I know, it's validation that I actually do have a sense of humor.
It's like, see, other people do this too. I'm not the only one.
Yeah, exactly. That's all
you need. You just need, like, number in your weirdness.
Yeah, so guys, thanks for the comments. We seriously do love them, and I will take another opportunity to talk about something that I don't mention super often, and that is, just leave us comments. You can do it on YouTube, on World Crypto Network, on our own YouTube. You can do it on our website, on our SoundCloud, on World Crypto Network SoundCloud, on Liberty.me SoundCloud, on our Spreaker site. Literally, we're all over the internet right now. We pretty much took it over. So, yeah, leave us comments. Oh, send us a tweet at you, me, and BTC. We are on Facebook, but it's not really my favorite platform. But if you really want to post on our wall or whatever it is they do there, you can go to Facebook and do that. /you, me, and BTC. And we love hearing from you guys, and we'll make sure we get some comments on the show now and then. So thanks for that. Let's see then. Should we turn it over to Zach and chat about some high-frequency Bitcoin trading? We good to go for that?
Yeah, high-speed traders are taking over Bitcoin, according to a headline from Bloomberg on the 16th, January 16th. So it's an interesting phenomenon because a phenomenally high percentage of all Bitcoin activity, transaction volume is caused by automated, that's what I'm looking for, automated traders and their automatic trading programs and so forth. And a lot of these are high frequency traders are, of course, because China's behind everything in Bitcoin, they're operating through some of the largest Bitcoin exchanges in China. And so really the article just introduces the idea that because of high frequency trading in cryptocurrencies, especially Bitcoin, because high frequency trading obviously happens across all money markets, financial institutions, stock markets, etc. But now it occupies a significant portion of transaction volume in the Bitcoin market, which could present problems and or some advantages in the future. But yeah, they're nonetheless, I think the article said something like 80% on average, 80% of Bitcoin transactions are from these automated high-speed traders.
I would guess, I could be wrong, but I would guess that another reason that this kind of trading is more attractive than stock market trading is because the Bitcoin exchanges are a lot more agile. They're open 24/7. And they have beautiful APIs that are accessible to anyone, compared to the stock market where they're not open 24/7. And if you want to hook it, you can't hook directly into the stock market. You can maybe hook in through a broker, or unless you have a ton of money and you are a broker, then maybe you can directly buy and sell stocks or whatever. But in general, it's just a lot harder. There's a lot bigger barrier to entry to get into to serious stock trading, and it's a lot more expensive. I mean, Bitcoin trading fees on the exchanges are like 0.5%, or if you trade a bunch, you can probably get it down to like 0.1%. They lower the fees the more you trade. Compared to stock market trading, where again, unless you're a huge, broker or bank or whatever, then you're going to be charged a decent fee on every transaction, or whether it's a percentage or just a flat fee, it's going to be a decent cost. And the Bitcoin exchanges are just more agile and a lot easier to get involved with. So that's my guess. I don't know that for sure.
No, yeah, that makes sense. This article just says that a couple risks or things to be cognizant of, not necessarily worried about, but actually some of these worried about, but just concerns for this high frequency trading becoming so dominant in the Bitcoin world is hacking, thefts, and the Chinese government crackdown, obviously, which affected the price pretty significantly recently. And so if all of this is controlled, or if so much of the transaction volume is affected by this one type of member of the Bitcoin community, it could make the price fluctuations and other changes more significant.
Right. So here's one of the real questions that we have to ask, and this comes up right off the bat in the first sentence here. I don't know if we said this, but this is from Bloomberg, and it's written by several people, I guess: Tian Chen, Benjamin Robertson, Gary Gao, and Lulu Yilun Chen. All right, but the first sentence here says, Zhu Shuoji is not a Bitcoin believer. He says cryptocurrency will never replace its traditional forebears and calls most of its proponents fanatics. But he is a high-speed trader, and Bitcoin is too good to resist. And that brings up, I think, what would be the main question here, the main issue. Is it bad that there are so many people trading Bitcoin that don't actually believe in it? One number quoted here is 80% of trading is driven by cutting-edge technology. Are we worried about that? Are people just in it to try to make the margins and grab some cash? I mean, I think the answer is yes, but I want to know if you guys think that's really bad.
No, I mean, I think I may have said this before, and this is going like all the way back to us talking about political stuff, where I think the best kind of system, or the best system, whether that's governments, whether that's how you run your money, is one that kind of lends itself to people being greedy just because that's what people are going to be in general. And given time, they're always going to turn something corrupt. Like, when you talk about Bitcoin versus the stock market, like Bitcoin trading versus the stock market, Bitcoin trading's good for like the person doing it individually now, because the stock market's had how many years that they've been able to figure out, and companies have built around it and built around just they section off everything and they have complete control of that. Where Bitcoin's still new, it's still kind of, it's weird. They don't have laws regarding who can trade stuff and how much you can trade. So I think that, what was the question at the first?
So I mean, is this bad? Are these?
Oh, no, I don't, yeah, thank you. I don't think it's necessarily bad. I just think that's how most things work. If they get popular because people are self-interested. And that most people don't just do things, and most people don't just promote things because it's out of the goodness of their heart. It's because it makes them money or it does something for them. So I think it's kind of just, I mean, if that's the network, then it's not bad. I mean, you can make the argument it's good. I mean, it can drive the price up. It can also make it go all the way down when people panic sell, because then there isn't that like dedication to Bitcoin.
Yeah. So you're saying theoretically, if something went wrong with Bitcoin and the people that really didn't believe in it were all leaving, then then that would be saying like 80% of the trading is just going to stop, or they're just going to sell and be done. And yeah, so you're saying that could drive the price way down, which I think is possible, yeah.
Yeah, well, because the entire thing just lends itself to panic selling or buying, because you're just following where the money is, and where the money is where everyone else is going, and it kind of just flows on top of itself. It's just kind of like it snowballs until it's just all the way down to 200 from like 1,000.
Yeah.
Is it bad? You'd prefer it not, but same thing with like any kind of government program. It sounds great and you'd wish people would work with it, but they don't. It's bad that Bitcoin doesn't.
Why'd you say like a government program? Is this like a government program?
Because no, that wasn't a good example. I'm sorry. It's the vodka drink, but at least I'll say that just to cover up my stupid intellect. It's bad in that you would prefer that everyone who used Bitcoin had a dedication to it.
Right.
I would prefer. But again, every single perception of what is bad for Bitcoin is individual. So if I say I wish everyone did that, someone who is just trying to make money is like, fuck that. I want people to sell and buy crazy so I can make more money.
Right.
So again, we're going to go back to this. Maybe it kind of is, but not really, because nothing is the same. But Bitcoin, it's bad, yes, because you don't have that support for it,
yeah.
But I don't feel
an online digital.
It's not like it taints it for me, because I realize that's kind of how most things are. Most of the people who move something, it's not like this is something that they're gonna just change their lives over. It's something that they do because it benefits them. And once it doesn't, it's not like they're gonna try to make it benefit them, but if it doesn't benefit them, they're not gonna stick with it. So I'd prefer, again, if everyone did it. It's not bad that it doesn't, because that's just kind of how the world works, at least how I see it.
Yeah, I mean, I would agree. For me, it just comes back to the free market, and which is kind of what you said at the beginning, where everyone's just greedy for themselves, which is what the free market is. There for you, and come back next Thursday for episode 159, and they see an opportunity, and they really do provide a service, because they are real trades that people legitimate. I mean, yeah, they're automated, but they're based on the algorithm that people believe in. And so there are people for every single trade. There is someone that says, okay, at this time, I think these dollars are more valuable to me than these Bitcoins or yen or whatever. And that's the free market, and they're legitimate trades. And what they do is provide a service of honestly more stability. Yes, it could cause a crash if people panic sell or panic buy, but really it makes it more stable, because these traders will connect to multiple exchanges, and when the discrepancy increases enough, they'll sell on the higher price and buy on the lower price and balance the prices overall. And they'll, when people do panic sell, maybe legitimately somewhat, if something bad happens, these traders will kick in and buy because the price is dropping, and that will halt the free fall to some extent. I mean, there's all kinds of scenarios, that could come up, and the price definitely could still crash. It definitely could still skyrocket. It definitely could still bubble, but they are legitimate trades. So all I can say is it comes back to the free market. They're just participating in the market, doing what they think is right and valuable and profitable, and that's it. I don't really see that being a bad thing. It's just people trading. That's it.
Yeah, this one trader the article talks about doesn't necessarily say anything about the price of Bitcoin affecting his strategy. He could sell when the price is high, or sell when the price is low, or buy when the price is high or low. I mean, there's good investment strategy reasons for doing both, some better than others, but decent reasons for both. He's just says he's going to keep doing this so long as there is a market for Bitcoin. And I'm not exactly sure what he means by that per se, but I don't see the market for Bitcoin just up and vanishing anytime soon, nor necessarily I don't understand how that would actually happen. But I see these short-term, not necessarily high-frequency traders, so those definitely are in the short-term Bitcoin investing demographic, but short-term Bitcoin holders as the perfect counterpart to the long-term, more traditional, perhaps ideological Bitcoin holders, people who hold Bitcoin for ideological reasons, because the short-term Bitcoin holders don't have trust in the long-term scheme of the cryptocurrency, and so they're just in it right now, like this high-frequency trader is saying, just in it for the present, taking it day by day or week by week or something, and when it's gone, I'm out. But the long-term Bitcoin holders have the exact opposite philosophy and are like, it's pretty volatile. It's a volatile currency. We don't necessarily know what one day to the next or 1 week to the next will bring. And so we're just holding Bitcoin, until some indeterminate point in the future when we'll sell or, invest even more or so forth. Just they're basically in it for the long game. And so I just see those two as counterparts but as sort of opposite perspectives on Bitcoin, but also complementary. So they're sort of counterparts, but also complementary to each other. Yeah, that's just my thought. I don't know.
Yeah, yep. I think that's a great point. They do balance each other out, and they're just trading where they legitimately want to trade. That's what it is for me. So that was fun. Do we have anything to add, or are we good for advice of the week? I'm actually ready with my advice, so I'll go ahead. I'm just going to drop back to leave a comment, because why not? Tell us what you think. Tell us if we sound stoned. Tell us if we sound lively. Yeah, tell us if... I mean, tell us if that's how you feel about the show. Yeah, whatever. Wherever you are, YouTube, SoundCloud, Spreaker. On the website, you, me, and btc.com. That's the best place that you could be. So... yeah, leave a comment. That's my advice. Go for it, guys.
I think my advice this week is send Daniel Adderall to Daniel provide address here. No, actual advice, diversified. Have I said that before? Get Bitcoin and gold, get everything, just accumulate wealth and die in the process.
There you go. Get filthy rich. That's Tim's advice.
Get filthy rich. Yeah, exactly. Because no matter what you say, no matter what kind of weird habits you have or what you follow, if you get rich, you can just say that they worked. So you don't actually have to make anything true. You just say it is because that's how it always works most of the time anyway. So do that. Just make money and then people respect you. Make money and gain influence.
Wow, it's hard to top filthy rich, get filthy rich as advice.
Exactly.
But, okay, so my advice would be, it's not necessarily really advice, but I like beer and Bitcoin, and I'm trying to find somewhere where I can buy a nice drought, a nice brew, for something besides, fiat currency, for Bitcoin specifically, or I guess other cryptocurrencies. I'm really indifferent. So I've been searching around a little bit, and the only places I can find are random bars and nightclubs and stuff, some in the US, but all the rest of them over in Europe, and a few breweries in Europe too, but no breweries. My point is no breweries in the US. And I'm not about to travel to Europe just yet, just to pay for a brew with Bitcoin. So if you know of anything anywhere in the US, preferably the East Coast, but I guess anywhere in the US is closer than Europe, hit me up on the YMB Twitter account or at my personal Twitter account at ZXVOELL_1. And I would be incredibly appreciative, and I'll mention it after I taste it next time on the show.
Yeah. Wow, that's a good call. I don't know if there is any. I loaded up. This is not a sponsor at the moment, but I recently heard about spendabit.co, where you can search a bunch of Bitcoin merchants. So I just now typed in beer, and I'm not seeing. As far as I can tell, none of it is actual beer. There's like some beer kits, beer t-shirts, honestbrew.co.uk. It looks like that might be a place. Yeah. But I don't know if they ship to the US. honestbrew.co.uk. I don't know. I'm kind of going off the cuff here because this just came up. So maybe if we find anything good, we'll come back to it later. Or leave us a comment if you know of anything good. Give us the deets give us the lowdown on the good Bitcoin beers. Maybe we should have John brew the first Bitcoin beer, because he likes to brew his own beer. So we'll call it, Satoshi's Pale Ale or something. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for tuning in. If you don't know what you want to do right now as the show is wrapping up, I am encouraging you to go straight to YouMeAndBTC.com. That's where you can find hundreds of episodes and interviews and reviews and tutorials and tools and calculators. It's all there for you. And come back next Thursday for episode 159. Thanks for being here, guys. Peace.
Bye-bye.